Cheers, and welcome to Chicago Reacts. My name is Lauren, and I will be your bartender this evening. Today, I have with me a lovely appletini as my companion and co-host. To make an appletini pretty easy, you just mostly it's vodka, a little bit of apple juice, a little bit of sour apple schnapps, a little bit of simple syrup, and you can garnish it with an apple, but I did not have a fresh apple today, so I just have the appletini. Very tasty, very good. I usually don't add the simple syrup myself because then it makes it a little too sweet for me, but 'tis I like my drinks a little less on the sweet side. Today we've got some fun information, fun videos for you. We've got the Internet Historian, or it's his incognito channel. We have the video about space, so I'm excited to learn all about space. But before we get into that, I've got even, is it more exciting? It might be more exciting. It's very exciting news. So there is a new user content created creation platform called Yahaha Studios. So we have their lovely logo here for you here. Anyone with Yahaha can create and publish their virtual experiences without any kind of coding knowledge or server knowledge, which is amazing because if you're anything like me, which I don't know how many of you are, you can barely use HTML. Like I can't, I'm so useless. So the fact that there is now a content creator platform like that is incredibly well adapted for people who like me, who are completely useless at any kind of, well, at most computer anything at all, it's really exciting. And it's pretty user friendly too. So it's like everything, there's tutorials, there's you hold your hand through it. It shows you exactly what to do. It's amazing. So I'm just going to quickly do a little bit of a brief show because I want to show you this. It's super fun. So you can also, fun fact, go, they have a lot of live events on Twitch. You can also go back to their their backlog of information and events on YouTube. So that's just something to keep an eye out for. It's so helpful. So here's the first initial, what you're going to click on when you first enter the Yahaha studio. I'm going to run over to templates here. Look at this. There are so many. There's a horror hospital, which sounds amazing. There's there's ruins. There's so many things that you can do. I'm going to go down to the hide and seek template, and we're going to have some hide and seek fun. So, hey, this is where we end up. We're in our lovely little room here. Nope, not going to touch that. We are going to go into the asset library. From here, look at all these things. Look at all these things that you can, ooh, I like that sunset. We're going to go into components really quick. And I've already put this in the system, so I already own it. The behavior transformation plugin here. Now we can go back to models and we can choose a model. Ooh, an other side beast. I'm already invested. Let's be an other side beast. We're gonna view it in scene, and then we just have to find it. Oh, there he is. Hi, other side beast. Okay, we're gonna place him by the door. Great, so there he is. Now we just have to go over to the components. You add community component, behavior, and now this has been added. So now it has this behavior component. So now we get to go play. Now we get to play, y'all. We're gonna play some hide and seek. So that's what's gonna happen. It's so much fun, you guys. It's enjoyable. Hello, there I am. Hello. And now we find our thing and we get to become it. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, I love him. All right, so now we are him. We have become unto a beast. He can move around, he can jump. And now we're hiding and we win. Very fun, see? Easy peasy. So it's enjoyable. And it's very easy. You can create your own monster. It looks like you can create your own avatar. I have not done much with mine. This is just the regular one, the one I started out with. But look, it's very easy. And even I can, and then clicking, you can punch, it's just, there's stuff to do. You can interact with everything. I wonder if I can't punch him, that's fine. But that is Yahaha Studios. That I got victory somehow, even though I didn't, even though I wasn't hiding. So yeah, there it is. I think that is enjoyable. And that's that. It's just very fun. It's like a brand new thing that you all can do. And if you want to create your own games, there's so many options for you, which is just, I think it's a very interesting and very cool new platform that will allow you to create your own games. And I think it's worth it. So that is Yahaha Studios. And now let us begin. I did my my makeup as a nebula as much as I mean, I didn't. It's not. That's incorrect. But in any case, here we are. We're going to go into space. And maybe we'll see some things that we can add to our Yahaha Studios game. That could be fun. The link for that will be in the description below. I will be playing on it, and maybe I will see you there as well. So now let us go. Space.
Space. Space. What is space?
I don't know.
Why do I have to wear a spacesuit? That is so formal. Too cold? Not a problem. I'll just put on a jacket. Why does everyone say you can't go faster than the speed of light? It's super simple. You just go the speed of light, and then you push on the accelerator a little more. Oh no, not the sun. The water will put it out. Hey Alexa, play Who Let the Dogs Out.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't
Alexa,
do that.
play the thing. No. Alexa, play Who Let the Dog... ha. Now I will be able to get all the best nudes. Hey, you should have closed your curtains. Ooh, I wonder what's in there. Oh, hey, how you doing, little fella? Oh, I think he's just sleeping. Aha! I knew it was fake the whole time. All this and more on this episode of In the...
Space.
Space. What do you know about space?
Not a lot.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning.
Oh.
Not the beginning of the universe.
Oh.
The beginning of how people thought space was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the history of space.
History of space.
Yeah.
So we've got flat Earth, right? Now there's going to be a whole bunch of people in the comments that go, oh, actually, they've known that the Earth was round since the Greeks. We know, everybody knows. No one thinks you're smart, shut up. But there were plenty of societies that did think that the world was flat. Yeah, I saw this in a lecture once, or I overheard it on the bus or something. But this is how it goes. You've got like this circular flat Earth, right? And then you've got land in the middle. They call this area the Mediterranean because that's the middle land, right? It's right in the center. And then past the land, you've got water. Now, all that water is mostly fine, but if you go a little further out, there's a lot more water, like a shitload more water. These disc maps you see are not to scale. It goes way further out. But if you try to traverse them, what will happen is sea monsters, right? They'll destroy your ship. Easy. And you can tell that sea monsters are real because once in a while you get some weird thing that washes up to shore. If somehow you make it past the sea monsters, you encounter mud.
Just mud?
It's flat mud, and it mixes with the land, so you can no longer pass by it in a boat. So you can try to walk across it, but it's basically like quicksand, you just straight into it. But somehow, if you manage to traverse this plain of mud, which is even larger than the ocean itself, it would start to get colder and colder. And eventually that mud becomes frozen, and then it turns to ice. And then it's just cold nothingness for far, far longer than all the oceans. And then eventually you come to a big mountain range. And this mountain range goes right round the Earth.
How did they come up with this? That's a lot.
And it is the thing that at the very top holds up the filament, which is the thing that encompasses the stars.
So the mountains go up and then it like holds the star canopy above the Earth.
It holds up the heavens.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Half of the model is there to dissuade people from trying to find new things, right? Because if you go out on a boat in the ocean, you die. It's the perfect dissuasion. Hey, look, don't bother trying to discover Australia. If you go out there, you're going to get eaten, then you're going to sink in the mud, then you're going to freeze to death, and then there's also nothing out there. And that's what keeps everyone safe and alive.
You tell the same story to your kid in the village to not go out into the woods.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing.
And that, circling around, is why they tell us not to go to Mars, you see. Don't come back.
I do think we'll colonize Mars. Probably not quite in our lifetime.
You reckon? I
yeah.
think we'll land a person there on Mars in 20 years.
20 years.
Yep.
You're a dreamer and stuff.
All right, I think it's going to be longer than 20 years because it takes a long time to get there too. So I think that we'll be able to land a person and like people on Mars closer to 21. Like, I don't know if it's going to take actually 100 years to get there. But I think it'll be closer to like, it'll be like 2096 or something. You know, we're going to be close to 2100 before we land a person on Mars. Just because they don't seem to be looking into it, really. They're not doing as much research on sending people into space as they could be. They're not spending as much money on it. They're spending money on other things we're not going to get into. But that's what I think. I think it's going to be closer to 2100 by the time we get there.
That story.
A lot of the original impetus for the space race to the moon was out of competition with the Soviet Union, right? Then we beat them and everyone went, nah,
Yep.
can't be bothered.
Yep.
Now we're back at war with China, so I reckon space race back on. Otherwise, China's going to stick a big flag in it and say, actually, you know what, Mars? It's always belonged to China.
Their flag would look better on Mars, just saying.
It'd blend in too much.
It already looks like a flag for Mars. It's got stars on it and it's red. It's perfect.
That's hard to argue with.
I say give it to them. And let's be real, a lot of people are probably going to die colonizing Mars, like, at first. They've got the manpower for it. Everyone will just be fighting over the bit where everyone's landing. It's not like someone will be like, well, I'm going to go over to this part of Mars, and, like, that'll be my part. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay here where the Twinkies and the women arrive.
Think you'd want to sit up at the poles? Because that's where all the ice...
Okay, he said the Twinkies and the women, and I just, like, my brain said Twinks. Like... He wants Twinks and women, but he did mean the candy Twinkies. I didn't put that together for way too long. It was about a second and a half, which was just too many minutes.
Right? Resources. But also, because of the rotation of the planet and the angle you come in, it's actually more difficult to land there as well.
I see.
So you would have to actually essentially approach by land. Easier to defend. So you're there on the ice, you've got all your water, and then you're just picking off anyone who dares to approach one of those Mars rovers. The Curiosity rovers, I would presume.
That would be super fun. So you're saying if you're going to fight for Mars, you'd stay at the top, because this is mine. I like that. Yeah, solid.
Build a big igloo, big ice wall, tell everyone to get the fuck out. That'd be awesome.
I love that, yeah.
Here's the problem. It's 1960s, NASA, and they can't figure out how to get things into space. It's too far up, you see. How do we get past the filament into the stars?
Why is he doing 1920s announcer in the 60s?
Ordinary things, you're our best scientist. You gotta come up with something that'll get us there. What do you got? Ordinary rocket propulsion, perhaps? Mentos and Coke. What's the big new idea?
So this is what I've got so far.
Right? A man kneeling on the ground, praying to get to space. I like it. That's a great idea, Ordinary Things. Let me get you the funding right now.
No, not quite. This is a dog. See, my plan is,
A trebuchet.
sort of a trebuchet.
It does look like a trebuchet.
Let me show you my idea. You've heard of CERN, right?
Yeah, they got the big underground thing.
Yes. So CERN is basically a 25-kilometer ring underground.
That looks like a lot of what you see in Half-Life. That thing. I can definitely imagine Gordon. I keep wanting to call him Morgan Freeman. It's not. It's Gordon Freeman. I can see Gordon having to like traverse this thing while being chased by like those dogs and like those things that lift you up, and also the military. But I can see him having to like run on this thing. He does, doesn't he? Like, it looks like the things that he has to like wander around.
powered by gigantic magnets that send particles in one direction, getting them faster and faster and faster, and then they send particles in the other direction, and then eventually they let them collide.
Cool.
Now, what if you had an extra track
Yes.
that went like this? You got something up to 99% the speed of light, and then you just hit the switch, and then capsule goes whoosh, terminal velocity.
Love that. So you're thinking you build up as much momentum as possible on Earth using magnets rather than rockets.
Yep.
Is it the size of atoms in this instance? Or
We're going to have to build a bigger one.
All right, bigger CERN. Got it. All right, massive CERN.
Well, you just make the hole
Yeah.
in the middle bigger.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah,
Atom-sized
fine.
hole,
That'll
too
do.
small. The only problem I can see is that we're sending people through the Earth's atmosphere at almost the speed of light. They will immediately explode. I think the solution is to put a dog in it.
Yeah.
Do you know how funny it would be if it was like a Tuesday and the supervisor was out of the office for the day and then he kind of came back, oh, I just forgot some of my papers, and he comes in and the guys at CERN are all gathered around because they're firing grapes through CERN at a big cartoonish brick wall. Yeah, go Dave, yeah.
I would love to be at the CERN Christmas party where someone's just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do a shit in the CERN. Because that's what it's called, the CERN.
This CERN.
I would find it very difficult not to get in the CERN machine, I think, if I was there.
You got on that blimp. Do you reckon you can get into CERN?
I reckon I could give it a go.
All right, if there's
Good
anyone
luck.
from CERN watching here,
Yeah.
my boy needs a ticket and one for his lady.
I'll email them now. People are thinking about space travel all wrong. They're rubes, those guys at
Those
NASA, I tell
rubes.
you, rubes. They keep trying to send us to space when we
Yeah.
should be sending space to us.
That's not a bad idea at all. Now, space elevator, very difficult. You build the
I did just hear that apparently there's enough like micrometeorites or whatever that enter the atmosphere on a daily basis that if you were in a city like Chicago and you could just like actively sweep stuff off the roofs and then and then get enough space material to create something out of space dust. I don't know if that's true. It was a fun conversation topic at the pub last night, but that is something that I learned yesterday, that apparently it's a thing. There's lots, the space is already coming to us in waves is the point.
thing 1,000 kilometers up, and then the tip of it is actually rotating faster than the base of it by differences in like hundreds of kilometers an hour.
Oh, wow.
Tensile strength, whole thing wants to break apart, right? Now, if somehow you could make a big anchor, wait, how do you draw an anchor? Here, it wouldn't need to be one rope, because one rope is not going to stay strong.
2 ropes.
Here's 20 meters of rope, and then a big joint. Here's 20 meters of rope and a big joint. And you just do that all the way back to Earth.
Love it.
Okay, you'll need like 150,000 kilometers worth of rope. But once you're there, all of a sudden you can just pull things across it, right? What am I missing?
There is one thing.
Yes.
I think the moon moves. So what you're going to end up doing is sort of like
Yes.
wrapping the Earth round. That's the one problem. Otherwise, it's flawless.
It's like that Batman thing, where there's like a asteroid coming for Earth and Superman's like, well, maybe I could move the Earth. And Batman says, if I had a week, I couldn't tell you all the reasons that wouldn't work. And that's kind of what this feels like. Although I think there's a book or something that there's like a moon people and then there's Earth people and there's these like tubes that, you know, go to Earth and like, and like to send things back and forth, but if you drop stuff from the tubes, they go at like terminal velocity, and people from the moon will occasionally just, you know, drop stuff to Earth, and it, you know, causes issues. I feel like that's a book I read. I didn't read it. I think my roommate at one point read it. If that is a true thing, let me know, because it might be something I made up.
I've got a solution.
All right.
There's a rail across Earth,
Rail! Oh my god, that's a great idea. That's way better than what I was going to say.
right? And then you've got your hook in here. It's allowed to slide through the rail.
So in theory, we could like lasso the moon in,
Yes.
bring it to us. Is there any minerals on the moon worth having? Any resources?
There is a fair amount of helium and also helium-3,
Well, we are running out of helium.
Yeah,
so
we
it's
are.
convenient.
There's a pretty good amount of water all over the moon too, so that's why, soon there'll be a moon base, and they'll be able to collect most of the minerals that they need.
Soon there'll be a moon base. They've been promising moon base for years. They've been promising moon base for longer than James Cameron's been promising Avatar, and honestly, sick of this shit.
Well, you know what I'm not sick of? Ad time.
Ad time. Alrighty. I don't think I'm supposed to...
Heads, but you have to...
Okay, we're not supposed to have extra ads for here. Ooh, those are aliens. La 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 la. Ads, ads, ads. We're not going to do the ads. All right. Ooh, an alien box.
Say you had a box and
Okay.
you put it on like a little satellite that you were going to send to an alien planet. Like, what items would you put in there to represent like human civilization?
Good question. How big's a box?
Let's say it's the size of like a caravan.
Oh, big. Okay,
Big box.
definitely a person then.
Okay, just like a dude, like a dead guy, or it's just...
yeah, they can be dead. That's fine.
That's not a bad idea. Like a dead guy who's kept from oxygen so he doesn't rot. So they've got like a fully
I'll
preserved.
just keep him in a cardboard box. So,
Just dump it.
yeah, so
We don't have the budget for something bigger.
I like the idea that when they just open up the flaps of the cardboard box, they just, ooh.
Oh my god.
I suppose you'd have a man and a woman.
yeah.
A phone.
A phone, like an iPhone.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to give them the latest one because they don't know.
An iPhone 5 with a cracked screen.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not like they're going to start using it.
Exactly, yeah. Fuck it.
I'd probably get rid of just some trash. There's quite a lot of trash around.
And some batteries.
Yeah, because you can't dispose of batteries anywhere.
Yeah.
Bottle of Coke, full bottle. I kind of like the idea that you're... Okay, so when you're a pirate, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm familiar.
And you're burying treasure. So
You know when you're a pirate. Like, you know this. This is the thing that you... Oh my god, I love that. Oh, I do like that a lot. That's funny.
someone finds it 500 years later and they go, wow, this is not just a historical find. I'm going to be rich.
Love that.
I like the idea that they find a couple of human corpses, but also half a dozen bottles of Coca-Cola. There's going to be some rich one who's like, bruh, yeah, I'll pay you 50 billion alien pesos for half a bottle or something.
I think that's the first actually like really good suggestion for the alien box. I mean, fuck Coca-Cola, but it's also a very popular drink and like a good representation of Western society. It's everywhere in the world. Great. And also they might be pleased. They're like, oh, this is a treat. Or maybe it'll kill them. But great suggestion.
Ah, thank you. Maybe also
Music, I reckon.
music.
Mozart on a vinyl.
Like, are they ignoring the probe we already sent into space that has, like, music and quotes and, like, the works of Shakespeare on it or whatever it has? Because there's a thing that exists. Like, we have a thing in space that has, like, the best of humanity, just in case. It doesn't seem like anyone's found it. But, like, that does exist. I think Mozart is in there.
Yeah.
Another good one, a handgun.
Yeah, just to show them that we mean business would be good.
Yeah, well, we'll rig it up to a tripwire. Don't touch my stuff. All right, you're stuck in space. You're floating around.
Sweet.
Oh my god.
Loving it.
You're in a spacesuit. I come floating up to you. I go, ordinary things. Help. Help. My oxygen tank has been pierced. I'm gonna die.
Ooh. Oh, that sucks for you.
Yeah, bummer.
No, that's not what you say. Now, we've got just enough time. Quick, we can both survive, but we're gonna both have to get into the same spacesuit.
Oh, I've been tricked like this before.
Pretty sure that doesn't work. I think when I've seen of spacesuits, like, they are very much a one-person only kind of deal. I know you can survive in space without the suit for, like, a really short period of time. Longer than you'd think it would be, and longer than Arnold from Magic School Bus in that one episode where he takes off the helmet and then scarred everyone for life. But I don't think you can get two people in one spacesuit.
So we have to both squeeze in there. The question is, are you taking the front or the back?
I'll take the front, I think. I'd rather be in the driver's seat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I trust you.
I swear, that's just my wallet, I swear.
It's not gay if it's on the moon.
Yeah, like legitimately, like you come back to Earth and they'll go, no, it wasn't. It's the moon. It doesn't count at all.
It doesn't count. No.
Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, they could have done it on the moon.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been considered gay. And then I suppose
We were lovers on the moon. You know, that's different.
someone shut this man up.
Oh, this one! That's the thing! Oh my god, yes, that thing that scarred everyone for life when, oh my gosh. I'm so glad they actually put that in there. That is exactly what I was just talking about. This fucking thing. This freaked me out so bad as a kid. Like, I loved Magic School Bus. I was like super there for it. I used to like play a little game like where I would be Wanda and I would make my brother be Arnold because, you know, I wanted to do stuff and he didn't want to do. He was very willing to play this game with me, and he was more than willing to let me get in trouble for like breaking things. So, but like this thing messed me up. Ugh.
Right, someone comes to you and says, ordinary things. You may see the universe, but we can't travel faster than the speed of light, so you have to go into the cryopod.
Ah, the old time delay.
Yes, you can go to Alpha Centauri, but it will take 100 years and everyone you know will be dead. Do you do it?
I don't want to just be like launched into the equivalent of Mars in Alpha Centauri and just be like, well, I'm here and I'm dead. I'm fucked.
No, they don't just drop
Like-
you off. You get to go on like a nice big ship. Maybe there's a nice lady there who's also frozen.
A nice little lady, a nice A-list celeb lady who is inexplicably an astronaut, as in all those movies.
Yeah, and you wake her up
Yeah.
early and because you woke up early and
Welcome. Oh, whoopsie, but you don't have another choice, so you have to be my friend.
would you do it? Would you want to be one of the crew that goes to Alpha Centauri?
I think I would. I think it's worth it to go do something that literally no one else has done before. I'm down.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Yeah.
If you were one of the first people to Alpha Centauri, you'd just have thousands of things named after you forever.
The whole planet. You get the planet.
Yeah.
If you're the first one there, it's like, this is me land, baby.
Yeah.
No governments. Money is banned. And I haven't thought this through.
You know, if you look at a place like Earth, every creek, every little nook or rock has a name to it. They did that like when people first came to Australia, and I can't help but notice that everything here is named either Murray or after Batman or
After Batman.
What?
Wait.
yeah, you don't know about everything being called Batman here?
No, that's new to me. That's
Oh, there's
news.
this guy. His name's like John Batman.
Oh my
so there's like a Batman River and like a Batman street.
You're kidding.
In middle of Melbourne. No,
No way. John
Yeah.
Batman. Oh,
Okay, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, I love that. See, this is why I do like these videos. Like, I like learning this kind of nonsense. I want to go to Melbourne and find this Batman bridge. I want to so bad.
oh my god, I'm looking him up now. What?
Uh-oh.
Look, in the past, how long?
Okay, look though. Batman's legacy has been challenged in the 21st century, and most of his criticism has been focused on the killings of indigenous people in Tasmania. But I'm like, but my man Wikipedia, you can't just say Batman anymore. Like, oh no. That's too funny. I wonder if maybe he didn't pronounce, maybe we can pronounce it Batten. Like, can we pronounce it Batten?
How long did it take for people to get from England to Australia? What was it like?
Oh, like a month.
Yeah, a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's
8 months.
Like, okay, how long does it take to get to Mars? At optimal speed, I think.
The Perseverance rover took 7 months to get to Mars. Humans would take 9 months. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. I definitely thought it was a lot longer. I definitely thought it took like really long time to get to Mars. And I guess, you know what? It might kind of depend on where you launch from too. So if you have to wait for Florida to be in position, and Mars to be in position, so that like shortest distance, I don't know how science works.
9 months?
So what you're saying is that we should put all our criminals on Mars.
Hey, it worked once.
Did it, though?
How come Australia doesn't get a bit of a pass with a lot of its history?
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, the terrible things that were done to the Aboriginals. But it's like, okay, but have you seen the average criminal reoffending rates? What did you expect?
Yeah, it's not like we sent them our best. We should... I've never thought about it like that, but that's honestly like a really decent argument for giving Australia a pass. But like,
Yeah, although it means they did all this stuff while they were out on probation.
It's not Australia's fault, it's England's fault. England sent them the criminals, so let's blame England for it.
Now, everybody goes, oh, what the heck? Why'd you demote Pluto from planet to dwarf planet?
yes.
And I can't help but agree.
Yeah.
So basically, they had an idea in mind to make Pluto not a planet, and then they changed all the rules to make it fit their space
Yes! Pluto's a fucking planet. Hashtag justice for Pluto.
spaced agenda.
Celestial identity politics have gone too far. That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly. There's 3 rules for a planet. Number 1, it must orbit a star. Okay, very good. We're all on board for that, and that's
Yep.
one of the old rules.
That's fine. I can accept that. Asteroids, not planets. Cool.
Number 2, it must be big enough to have enough gravity to force it into a spherical shape. Agreed. That's a brilliant one.
Fine, I'll accept that. But if we see a cube planet at some point, then I feel like we will need to revisit this rule. But as it stands, fine.
Or just call it something different. Like, I think, I feel like Asgard is considered more of like, it's like a planetoid, right? Like, there are certain things that are like, it's planet adjacent, but not quite a planet because it's not a sphere. So it's like, you can call it something different. It doesn't have to be a planet. It's a realm. It's a, it can still be a place. It just doesn't have to be a planet necessarily.
Yeah, if there was something as big as Earth, but somehow cube, they'd change the rules again.
Cube Earth.
Yeah. Now, the new rule they brought in was it must be big enough that its gravity clears away any other objects of similar size in its orbit.
Bullshit.
That is a very specific rule, just designed to persecute Pluto.
Fuck off with
Who
Pluto. Like,
came
it's,
up with this rule?
Well, it was a big committee made up of the deep.
yeah. I like the idea that Big Pharma wanted to just like screw Pluto.
Space state. And one of the reasons that they essentially made this rule was because, well, Pluto actually has a moon that's almost the same size as Pluto. So Pluto wouldn't even just be one planet, it would be like several planets. But also, out in the Oort cloud, there are probably similar sized planets to Pluto, but hundreds, maybe thousands of them.
I see.
And so actually, even in our own given solar system, there would be thousands of them. So what they're running into is a naming problem. Because, well, we can't teach kids that there are thousands of planets. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, turns out there are thousands of planets, and a lot of them are really boring and far away. Okay.
Oh no, I wanted to look at the names of some of those moons and stuff.
Okay, turns out
Okay, cool. Eris, goddess of chaos. Love her. She's a boss. I love her so much. Orcus. Probably something with killer whales. Sedna. Sediment? Laziness? I don't know. Qualroar. I don't know. Ixion. Don't know. Varuna. I don't know. Ceres. Yay, there's one I know. That was Roman goddess. That's Demeter, but Roman. And then I don't know Pallas, or I've heard of Pallas. I just don't remember what. Vesta, Hygeia. I think I know a lot less of those than I thought I did. That's really disappointing. I need to go study my Greek and Roman mythology. But here's Pluto, who is, god of the dead and the underworld and wealth. And then we have Charon, and Charon is the ferryman who works for Pluto. Except for Pluto is the Roman name and Charon is the Greek name. So what even is anything? Nothing matters.
there are thousands of planets, and a lot of them are really boring and far away. Okay, but here's the main 9.
Yeah, here's the big 9. Why don't you just call them the big planets and the small planets and be done with it?
There's also a couple of objects in the Kuiper Belt, I think, that would suddenly qualify as planets. So Ceres would suddenly become a planet.
Ceres? What even is Ceres? Oh, Ceres. Oh, okay. But that's clearly a moon. It looks like a moon.
Well, it's not what it looks like, it's how it acts, isn't it?
Uh,
It's in the orbit between Mars and Jupiter.
oh, what? Why don't we just make Ceres a planet
Yes,
instead?
absolutely.
To be honest, I'm just going to show my ignorance of it, but I've never...
Sure, there needs to be more planets named after the women gods anyway, because they're all freaking named after the men gods. And then you have something like, okay, freaking Saturn, Saturn is named after the big bad guy who, like, ate all his children. Like, why do we name the moon after him? Like, why do we have to have a bad guy up in that joint? The only planet that's named after a woman is Venus. There were some cool-ass women gods, y'all. You can name... Okay, this is apparently a rant I don't need to get into. But I'm just saying, yeah, sure, why not? I agree with these guys. Let's make other things planets. Like, planets for everybody. We're gonna do that Oprah thing. You get a planet, and you get a planet. Everyone gets a planet. Everyone's a planet. I want one. All right, that's what I want now.
Never heard a series before. In a way, I feel like you've just made this up to make me look strange. Wait, what's make?
Maki Maki.
Maki. Is that a type of sushi?
Oh, yeah, okay. It's another planet that's just further out.
Oh, I love it. It's cute.
I mean, it's a dwarf planet, but...
Oh, why does one of them have boobies?
this one.
There's no need for that.
The
Come
internet.
on.
Oh, internet.
Oh, it's a dwarf planet as well.
I'm learning new things here.
Well, no more learning. It's time for some answers, damn it. Big question time. Ordinary things.
Yeah.
Are there any aliens?
No.
All right. Is the universe infinite?
It's like a bike wheel. Technically, it's infinite, but you just end up where you were in the first place.
That's good enough for me. Is there a god?
Yes, and it's me. Suck my...
There we go. Will we ever find out all of the mysteries of the universe?
What if we already have?
I'll tell you what it is. The real answer is love. And that's all you need.
Space or love, which
Oh, I get it. He's doing a Beatles thing. I thought the real answer was 42, but that's just me.
is bigger? And if you could only have one, what would you have?
What about space love?
Is that like 0G shagging?
Yeah, or where you're on the moon and someone says like, "Oh, I love you." It's like kind of non-committal, and they don't really hear you on the radio, and you go, "What?" And they go, "Oh, nothing, over."
What if you're on the moon and then they go into kiss and then they accidentally shatter their space helmets?
No. Like two people vigorously doing cheers.
Yes. Moon love turns to moon tragedy.
It must happen all the time. On the moon, in the future.
Not gonna lie, I have always wanted to smash a glass to the point where it to the point where it breaks. All right, but again. All right, so the moon, very fun. I like to learn. The space thing was fun. And again, I know that I always forget at incognito mode, it's not necessarily about actually learning. It's a lot more silly. As opposed to the Internet Historian, which is a lot more facts. But I mean, I still feel like I learned a few things, and I also learned the things that I don't know. Like, I need to brush up on my Greek mythology, apparently, and my Roman mythology, because it's kind of sad. It's a little bit sad how much I don't know. I didn't know any of those things. I was like, oh, fuck, I only know like 3 of these names. But Eris is awesome, and everyone should stan Eris. But yes, that was interesting. I appreciate it. Thank you again for watching. Thanks for coming with me on this journey through space. Thank you also for coming with me on this journey through Yahaha Studios. Once again, it is an excellent new user-friendly platform that allows anybody to create their own games, their own situations without needing any knowledge of servers or coding. It's easy to use. It is it's user-friendly. They help you. They hold your hand through it. Any questions you have, there's a million tutorials. You can go on Twitch. It's a great new platform. I highly recommend you check it out. The link will be in the description below. Make sure you share, like, comment, subscribe. If you can become a patron, we would really appreciate that as well. You get some extra content, you get early content, lots of fun little perks if you become a patron. We really appreciate that. And I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.